Hello and welcome to another series of Tony Talks, again, where we specialize in talking about ADA compliance and California accessibility here in the state of California with regards to federal and California law. And today we are lucky enough to get as our special guest Laura Utterback from Newmeyer and Dillian Law Firm in Newport Beach. Laura is a senior partner and she specializes in construction, so she's a great asset to have here today to bring to light some of the issues that property owners are facing. So welcome, Law, and thank you for joining us again today.
Thank you, Tony, and thank you, audience. So here's a question I have for you. So commercial client has an 8-unit piece of property, and as we've discussed before, this could be a nail salon, it could be a gas station, it could be a diner, whatever it is. They get hit with a lawsuit. Let's say it has to do with the parking lot, and they reach out to me, and I said, okay, we need to get this addressed. We need a CASP inspector and a contractor that specializes in ADA compliance. And they say, well, we've got our contractor. We've had this contractor forever. And all my spidey senses go, I think you need to talk to Tony. What are your thoughts in that regard about basically them saying, oh, no, I got a guy?
Yeah, that is actually one of my personal frustrations when I drive down the street and I see an asphalt contractor performing ADA compliance. And I know what's coming down the road. My personal opinion is I believe the state of California should create a special license for an ADA expert contractor. I mean, why not? They've gone from A's to B's to C's, all the multiple licenses. Why not create one for one of the biggest issues in the state of California? Because these asphalt contractors are claiming they understand ADA compliance. The client has trusted them for years to make the repairs on their property, and they've done a great job with the maintenance. However, ADA compliance is legal construction. It's not like you're going out and putting a roof on or painting a building where everyone can see what needs to be done. Most of these projects, the reason they're being sued is because the design is incorrect. So you need a design professional, and that's where I come in. I am a design professional and a CASP inspector and a expert ADA contractor. So we have a complete team. But whenever I see an asphalt contractor performing this work, I really feel for the client, because I know that I can go out there after the work is over and I can find multiple corrections with the work. So it's very frustrating for me to see this happen. Oftentimes, the client will think they're going down the right path and they'll obtain a CASP report, sometimes from us. They will give that CASP report to an asphalt contractor, and the asphalt contractor will make the corrections according to the CASP report. That's a mistake. The CASP report is not a design, it's not a layout, it's only quoting what the corrections are. As an example, you may open up to the middle of the CASP report and it says the existing accessible parking stall has a more than a 2% slope, or the striping is faded and the sign is the wrong height. So the asphalt contractor corrects that. What he doesn't know is you just spent $10,000 on these corrections and the accessible parking stall is in the wrong location.
Wow.
It needs to be moved and dispersed throughout the shopping center. So that's where your design professional comes in.
It's interesting that you made the comment or the suggestion that an ADA contractor should be required to hold a special license in the state of California. Have you heard at all if there's any movement for legislation in that regard?
I keep pushing on it. I work with the best. I surround myself with the best. The current state architect, Michelle Davis. I work with Susan Moe, who is a architect and one of the early on cast, and probably one of the most knowledgeable in public housing in the state of California. In addition to that, I worked and have been mentored by Paul Klein and Mark Wood. So getting a lot of advertising for quite a few people out there. But the key to this statement is these are the best there are in the field. So I am also a alternate on a collaboration group with the state architect, where we get together and listen to different topics. And I've introduced a variety of items. I believe that if we get enough horsepower with some of the experts in this field, that we may be able to push the state of California into doing it. But right now what's happening is these contractors are completely misleading the property owners, and that's what's lending to second and third lawsuits.
Yeah, and to say, just questioning, are they per se misleading? Maybe in some instances they are misleading, but maybe they just don't have the level of knowledge and expertise in the design and ADA build that you do.
You're absolutely right. I don't think there's any malice. I don't think their intent is to purposely or willfully mislead. I think in their own minds, they deeply believe that, hey, I understand ADA compliance. I have seen companies, and I've had companies that have tried to work for us, where they will simply go out and restripe some faded accessible parking stalls. And what they do is they don't measure for the width. So the existing could be short 3 inches, and they'll just go right over it and stripe it, and then it'll fail. But that's the knowledge of these types of contractors. They've been doing it for years and have got away with it. And now all these corrections are starting to surface, and the poor property owner is being left to pay the bill.
Wow. All right. Well, I hope you get some positive traction with respect to initiating legislation, because it sounds like that's really what our state needs.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again for joining us.
Yeah,
it's always a
Tony.
pleasure.
Thank you, audience.